This leg of the journey has taken up the bulk of our trip to the tip, spanning 402 kilometres from Hahn River Roadhouse to Bramwell Station. Dean and Courtney have done what they can so everything inside stays intact while towing on the corrugations.
So once the caravan moves from the stage of just a raw chassis, we've done the plumbing, we place the floor down, it's when that walls come up. So we stand the wall up here where we bolt it through. Once it's up, we also screw through into that furniture and staple as well. So you've got a lot of strength goes into our furniture. The furniture creates an integral part of our caravan. So it's not just CNC cut, joined and screwed, it's actually interlocked, joined, glued and screwed. So a big difference there. So it all actually relies on its own pressure and weights in those situations where the caravan does need to bend and twist. It's all transferring that weight. It's not just putting pressure on a screw head or anything like that. It's actually relying on its own strength to create what we've created. So furniture really becomes an integral part of the structure of the caravan. When it's placed in the caravan, as I said, it's bolted through the floor with an anchor point, it's screwed through the frame, and with it interlocking into itself, it creates the third part of that strength that we talk about.
Bramwell Station's cattle station, Cape York. Better than a decade ago, I'm not sure the dates, they decided to diversify into a bit of tourism. So they sort of cornered off this little section. It's become a place that you sort of have to stop at on the way up to the Cape. And then over the years, it's evolved and a bloke has taken a lease on that. And his name's Ken Godfrey. As we make our way up Cape York, our stop tonight will be Bramwell Station Tourist Park. Ken's the owner here. Ken, how long you been here operating?
Macca, this is my 13th year here. 13th season, so 6-month season here, so it's fantastic. We built it right up to be a great place.
Now, I made it sound like we'd never met before, but we're kind of old mates because I keep dropping in here and catching up for dinner, a beer and a yarn.
You do.
When was the first time we came through here? 10 years ago?
It'd be about 10 years ago. I'd been here about, it'd be 10 years ago.
What's the history of the place?
Well, it was a working cattle station, and it's a very, very poor country. The cattle did no good here, so it's been sold 3 years ago. The government bought the place, and I renewed my lease for another 10 years with them. They just want to promote tourism on the Cape, making it eco-tourism here.
So it's a station without any cattle?
Station with no cattle.
That's unique, isn't it?
Same as a pub with no beer.
Exactly right. Now, when people come and stay here at the station, what experience do they get?
Well, quiet. They can lay back and do anything they want to all day long, and then they can enjoy the meal. We have live professional entertainers every night of the whole season. We change them every 3 weeks, and they have a great big meal. We're sold out every night. We have 100 meals every night, 7 years now. Now, Bramwell Station is a 1,330 square kilometre station. 1,330 square kilometres in the old school is 520 square miles. It was totally a different entrance to what we have now. Still on some of the old maps. 7 k's south of our white tyres, there's a double gate, it's still there. That's the old entrance.
So what sort of people do come and stay?
All sorts of people. Mind you, caravans. This year I've never seen so many caravans on the road.
And it's actually an interesting subject because as those little patches of dirt become less and less and the patches of bitumen become bigger, more caravans are going to come.
Yeah, true. We don't want the bitumen.
Don't you? You prefer the dirt?
Well, you lose the adventure then. Even with the caravans, it's an adventure.
Well, there will always be the telegraph track for those who want that adventure, I guess.
Correct.
And you're actually a bit of a staging point for there, aren't you?
Well, I've been up that telegraph track, I reckon, 50 times. I did car events for charities for many years, and I used to know the teletrack like the back of my hand. However, it changes every day, Macca.
Yeah, it does. It's a bit of a living beast, the old teletrack.
Exactly. Yeah. Probably different to when you were on last, even.
Yeah, which is only a couple of weeks ago, but it can change that quickly.
It changes daily.
Do you get many people drop their caravan here, leave it here while they go and do the teletrack?
Yes, and there's no charge for them to do that. They can leave their van here for as long as they like. We'd rather them leave it here and look after it than wreck it, to be honest with you.
Well, that's a good idea. Hey, what sort of options do you got when it comes to accommodation for the people who come here?
Well, we've got camping here naturally, and we've got budget-style accommodation, and then we've got the ensuite ones as well. So we've got 28 rooms here, and we're booked out all the time. We're booked out tonight too.
So if people want to come and camp, they can cook for themselves, feed themselves, all that sort of jazz, or they can come over and have a meal.
Exactly.
How do they go about booking in to get a meal and a spot here?
They have to ring up in advance because we book out for the meals 3 or 4 days in advance. We've got free Wi-Fi here for all the punters as well, which makes a big difference because people can communicate with their families at home.
So if anyone wants to get in touch with you, how do they find you?
Just dial 07 4060 3300.
Pretty simple, eh? Have you got a website?
Got a website, yes, at Bramwell Tourist Park, Cape York.
There you go. Check it out. Come and have a good time, because I'll guarantee you will. I've had plenty of good times here.